Fun fact, this is the third time I've recorded this video, so third time's a charm. Also, shout out to French braids. Today, we're going to talk about my Invisalign, my teeth journey. First off, I cannot get into this without giving a bit of background. All of this started in, I don't know, ye old, whatever year I was in middle school. I truly cannot remember when I broke my teeth actually, but I broke my teeth. Spoiler alert. I dove into a pool. I know you're screaming. I scream when I think about it. I still can't watch people get like hit in the face or fall on their face or anything. I'm like traumatized. But you know, cool kid Kelly thought at a pool party at one of her like parents' friends' house, she would show off the fact that she was on swim team and do a dive. Now, I had been on swim team at this point for many years. I knew how to dive, I knew how to swim, but I did not know this pool. It was a backyard pool, you know, not like a swimming pool with lanes. Didn't know how deep it was. Your girl dove in, hit her teeth on the bottom of the pool, and broke them. The blessing in all of this is that I broke my teeth. I didn't feel it, which is amazing. I think I broke them like in just such a way that they were broken, but I didn't like hit nerve or anything like that. I could have broken my neck. I mean, there were a lot of ways that this could have gone, and it didn't. I got out of the pool. I was like, oh my gosh, like I knew something had happened. I knew I hit my teeth. I felt that like the impact. I didn't, like I said, no headache, no pain, no nothing. So I was really just like, oh my gosh, my mom and dad are gonna kill me more than anything else. So I get out of the pool, put her in my mouth, I run up to my mom and dad, basically go like, ah, and they're like, ah, and so we leave the pool party, understandably, and immediately my parents, bless them, went and looked for like the best cosmetic dentist that they could find to get my teeth fixed. So we did bonding. Bonding is essentially what you would generally do for a small chip. It's kind of delicate, so I had to be very, very, very careful with my teeth, and I wasn't. Spoiler alert. Again, my parents, my goodness, the picture I will show was from after the second or third break. I really don't even remember. I think it was the second break. My mom tells me she had just finished paying off this, remember, best cosmetic dentist in town, so expensive. I think $4 signs on Yelp, right? She just finished paying off this payment plan they had done for their stupid daughter who dove into a pool to get her teeth fixed, and I broke them again. So the second time they were like, sorry, you know, because you just have broken teeth for a minute because we can't afford to do that again. Fair. So I did walk around in high school a little bit with a broken tooth. So that's why I do have photo evidence, because I didn't take any pictures the first time. But yeah, you can see from the photo, maybe because it's not a great photo, but you can kind of see it wasn't a like small little chip. It was quite a break. So yeah, that was my life for from middle school until 2019. I had this bonding that I had to be super careful about. I couldn't eat certain foods. I kind of stayed away from all the activities that I was used to after high school because I didn't want to break my teeth. I mean, at that point it would have been on me to fix it, and I couldn't afford it. I was poor and in college. So I kind of avoided everything that could potentially end in a tooth breaking accident because of this. Here we go into 2019. I get engaged. I met my wonderful husband, Tyreek. He proposes, we're engaged, and after the initial, oh my gosh, I'm engaged wears off, I start thinking, and I'm like, okay, so at this point, the bonding's old. You're not really supposed to keep this bonding in for that long. Like, it's supposed to be replaced, basically. So it's older, it's chipping, it's yellow, and I've gotten my teeth whitened once or twice at this point because I was like working. So I knew that I didn't want this bonding to be my like long-term tooth situation. So get engaged, and now I start thinking, okay, do I really want to go to my wedding with this jank bonding that's chipping and old? And my dentist and I had already discussed fixing that. I mean, she had done my x-rays. She could see I had a root canal, the bonding. She could see all of this in my x-rays, right? So she already knew, and it was old. I knew this. I mean, it was one of the things that I brought up in like my first cleaning when I started going to this dentist. Like, I want to get this fixed at some point. My dentist is like, all right, you're gonna need, she had told me this, but she's like, right, like we discussed, right, you're gonna need veneers. In order to do that, before you do that rather, I would strongly recommend you do anything you want to do to your teeth ahead of time, get it over with. Whitening, if we want to whiten it again, if you want braces, if you want whatever you want, do it first. Now, I have never had braces. Like, my teeth aren't that bad. They were a little bit crooked, you could see in some places, but they really weren't like terrible. I'll throw a picture up. I actually did my engagement photos prior to having braces, so I have a very recent photo of my pre-braces teeth. But yeah, my teeth were crooked, but they weren't like ghastly. So we did the impressions, we sent that off. I go home, you know, and at this point I'm just like, oh my God, I can't wait for my first trace. So then I get the call from my dentist, hey, your Clincheck is ready, let's review it. She was really great. I mean, I feel like every dentist or orthodontist is gonna do this, but I really appreciated like how in touch with me she was throughout the whole process. Every single like step of the way, she was like, come into the office, let's chat, make sure you're good with it before we move on to the next step, which I loved. I'll throw it up on the screen right now, but it was super cool to my nerdy art brain. It's essentially a 3D model of your teeth, like digitally, that you can click and drag around and grab and turn upside down and all kinds of stuff to see like how your teeth are going to change. So they essentially showed you, for me it was 20 trays, and they show you each tray what the progress should look like on your teeth, like on this 3D model of your teeth, so you can see if you're happy. I had the comprehensive plan, which I believe it's like 2 years. You can get as many refinement rounds as you want. So basically, if we get to the end of my trays and I'm not happy, then I can get scanned again and we can do another round of trays. So that's kind of how, you know, if you get to your Clincheck and at the end, the picture you see of like what your final results are going to be isn't your ideal, don't worry, you can continue to work towards the perfect smile. For me, veneers was the goal. So I really didn't care what my teeth looked like. So I was like, sounds great, sign it off, check it, you know, green light, ship it, let's go. It took about a month, I think, for my trays to arrive. So then once they were there, she called me, we made an appointment, I went in. She has to put your buttons on first, which are the little like bits of bonding on the front of your teeth that the tray kind of locks onto. So that day was put those buttons on, put trays on, make sure everything feels, you know, it's gonna feel tight, but feels good, like it's not painful. And then you go home, and you go home with the rest of your trays, and you pretty much just at that point are now on your schedule, whatever that is. For me, I had 2-week tray changes, so I was in each tray for 2 weeks, and then I would change trays, and so she gave me about 2 or 3 trays at a time. But all in all, end to end the process, I didn't have any issues. Now, before I get into the whole veneers process, I'm gonna pause right here and go into my trays, like progress, so you can quickly see how my teeth were progressing. And then I will talk about my veneers. So at the end of the process, and I have my trays here, so this is really fun, I can actually show you. These are my first trays and my last tray for the top. So this is the first tray, this is the last tray. So you can kind of see how like on this one, it looks like it's like pinched, like someone just literally did that and it's just pinched in. And then on this one, you can see how this is like my teeth now. It's a nice like rounded C shape. That was the thing that I was like, whoa, I can see like way more of my teeth on the side than I could before. And then similarly, here is the bottom. So same thing, this is the start, this is the finish. Way more of a C arch and less of that like pinching and on the sides happening. And then you can't really tell as much from this tray, but like my canines stuck out a lot. I always noticed that. Funnily enough, I thought it was because they were jutting out, but actually it was because the 4 teeth in front were too far back. So they got pushed up and they are now much farther forward. It was actually really weird because I was used to this gap in between my top teeth and my bottom teeth that's now gone. Like the fact that my teeth like hit each other was very strange because they never touched before that. And now, like I said, I will talk about veneers. We got to the end, like I said, these 2 teeth did not move as much as we wanted to, but I was up against the clock here for my wedding. So I was just like, what do we do? And my doctor, Dr. Kabani, was like, let's do veneers maybe? So she priced them out and I was like, it's in budget, let's do it. I'd rather do that than do another round of braces, be in braces for my wedding and still maybe not be happy with how they've ended up. So veneers, we do another impression. She sends that off to a technician who makes a mold out of it and essentially sculpts what your veneers would look like onto the mold. I said, yes, ship it, let's go. And then they make your temporary veneers based off of that. Temporaries are just, you kind of think about it like a denture. Like they do file your teeth down like they would be for proper veneers, but they just put bonding material that matches your tooth into a tray that has like the impression from the sculpt basically, and then they shove that up on your teeth like a tray, let it set, take it off, but it's like all one connected situation. So I couldn't floss in between my teeth, and they were very, very delicate, so no biting into anything just yet. But essentially it's to give you an idea of how your final veneers will look. And they do this so that you can like leave, go home, live your life. I think it's like 2 weeks they tell you to like go home and see your friends and family and take selfies and stuff and make sure you like them. It was this time last year, October, we were going on my bachelorette trip. So it was actually great because I was around my girlfriends all day, every day for a week. I decided I didn't like how long these two were. So I'll actually throw a picture up on the screen, but I photoshopped what I would like, which was like a couple centimeters taken off of those 2 teeth. Sent that to my dentist. She sent that straight to the technician, and he was able to redo those 2 veneers, like adjust them to make them a little shorter. Final, here's my teeth. They look really great. To me, I feel like they look very natural. They don't, to me, look like super Hollywood or overdone. That's actually, to me, how my temps looked because of the teeth being like really, really even. But then when we shortened the other 2, I feel like now they look totally like they could have been my teeth the whole time. And I can bite into apples and corn and finally not worry about breaking my teeth on literally everything. So definitely a huge improvement. I am so, so happy. I'm so blessed to have had such an amazing experience, and I have an amazing dental team who helped me get to this point. And it was all done in time for my wedding, I think with time to spare. I mean, like I said, I had my temps in October. We got married in February. So I think it was by December something that I had my final veneers in. So it was perfectly on time. I was not concerned at all about, oh my gosh, are we going to get them in time for the wedding? Like, no, everything came in right on time, according to schedule, and I was ready to go get married and look fantastic, which I did. I will definitely say that having Invisalign made my dental hygiene way better. I also have heard that it's a great way to lose weight because all of a sudden all of the like mindless snacking becomes time that you have to allocate within your day, like allotment of how long you can have your trays out, right? So I found personally that I was very like against taking my trays out and flossing and brushing and all of that mess for like a little nothing snack that I didn't really want. So it really made you hypercritical of like what's worth taking my trays out for, basically. It was really, really a great process. I totally would do it again. I am over the moon with my results. I mean, I was cheesing it at anybody who would look at me, and then at my wedding, I mean, I'm like, yee, in all of my photos because I didn't have to be concerned about my teeth that I was so self-conscious about. So yeah, it was definitely a great experience. And I really, really, really glad I did it. That's all I have. I am glad if you stuck around. Thank you. I really just wanted to give back to the community that gave to me when I was thinking about getting Invisalign. I found so many great videos from people talking about their experience, which made me way less afraid of the entire thing. Veneers too, I looked into that and again found a lot of resources that just generally helped me to feel like I understood what was going to happen and what I knew what to expect going into it, which always makes me feel more like in control and not as nervous. End to end, I feel like the cost was maybe close to, I'm trying to think, it was about $1,200 per veneer. Let me price it out like by thing. And then Invisalign was, I think, around $5,000, like maybe just over $5,000, and half of it was covered by my insurance. But yeah, that's what I paid. You've seen my results, like I said. I definitely feel it was worth it. I'm gonna be smiling every day, all day. It was kind of sad that I had to then go put a mask back on for a lot of things, but I'm smiling under the mask. It doesn't matter. Thank you so much for watching. As I've said multiple times, I put out videos every Friday, so check back next week to see a cool new vid. See you next time. Bye.